only you can change your own world. And now that you've discovered us at the Institute of Practical Learning, you too can watch and learn just how to do it.
There are lots of different ways of thinking about collecting happiness points, but imagine you were a hunter in the old days of cavemen and that kind of stuff, because that's relevant to how your brain, your nature, has been shaped. So there you are, you're in a jungle or a forest or whatever, and you're looking for food. Now, what Homo sapiens learn to do is look in the right places for particular kinds of food. So if you were looking for fruit of some sort, you'd look for a tree that's going to have that fruit. If you were looking for nuts, you'd find a nut tree. Or if you were looking for honey, which is a lot more dangerous, you'd find somewhere up a cliff that you know about where there's honey to be found. Now, when you are hunting today, now, for happiness points, there are those 7 different zones that we've been describing earlier on. And in this video, we're going to talk about a particular happiness tree, if you like, happiness zone, which is called self, or the red zone. And we're going to talk to you about what kind of fruit can you get from that particular tree, because there's no point in looking in a fruit tree for nuts. You're not going to find them. So in order to build up your full store of happiness points, you have to look in the right place for the right things. So let's get on with what can you find when you wake up in the morning and think about yourself, or in the red zone. If you're into mathematics, you can define that zone as a domain, which is a closed system where you ignore everything else and just look within the domain, which is just you. So it's a closed system within which you just think about yourself and what's going on inside your own mind. Now, our aim is to help you understand how to collect 3 tokens, which is validation points. If you've ever watched Mario go-karting and computer games and things like that, where people tear around and they find treasure and they collect points or collect whatever, it's, in this case, we're talking about tokens and a parallel theory of what we're doing here, which is called tokenomics. So each of us chooses what kind of tokens we think are important. I'm not trying to dictate to you what tokens you should collect. In this video, I'm suggesting to you that there are different kinds of tokens that you can collect about yourself. And also, it would be wise for you to just decide to collect 3 different kinds of tokens. Now, those tokens are differentiated between the concepts of mind, body, and spirit. And you'll need to keep that focus. So let's start. The first thing to do in order to collect tokens is count your blessings. Think what's good about your life when you wake up in the morning. For example, if you think about body, can you hear? Can you see? Can you feel? Can you stand up? Can you walk? Can you run? All these things are blessings which not everybody has. And I can assure you that there's an awful lot of people around you who would give an arm and a leg, as it were, just to be able to wake up in the morning and get up and see and hear and feel and sense. So there's a great deal to be gained from being aware that if you have a healthy body, you can certainly collect a token from that. Now let's talk about your mind. Do you feel what's called compos mentis? Can you think? Have you got power over your mind? Or has perhaps your past history of, too much cocaine or whatever screwed up your mind a bit so you can't really think straight? Now, if you can think straight, then you are very fortunate in this modern world. There's a lot of people lying on the pavement in Santa Cruz who can't think straight. They wish they could, but they took too much drugs or pharmaceuticals or stuff like that, too much of the wrong advice, and they can't think straight. So if you've got a healthy mind and you can think straight, then you're in good shape. And finally, the third area to collect a really good token is your spirit. How do you feel about waking up? How do you feel about life? Do you feel it's good to be alive and that you're going to enjoy your day? Or are you really, really depressed? Now, if you are, or things around you are stopping you feel happy about what the day is going to bring, then you can't collect that token. But if you feel you have enough control over what you're going to do today to be able to say, yes, I have a spirit, I have aspirations, I have things I want to do, I know what I like, I am going to move forward with my day and take actions and behave in a way whereby I can fulfill my spirit, then again, you are in good shape and you can collect that token. At this stage, don't worry if your token collection isn't going too well, because there are 6 more zones to go and you only need 7 altogether, and there's at least another 18 possible points for you to collect. So let's move on to the next zone, which is called pair or significant other. Party on and be happy.